Good morning, Good morning, Alejandra, and good evening to Indian participants.
Okay, can you hear me? Okay.
This is Veer Maheshwar Charitable Trust Latur MS India organizing daily international webinar series. In this series, speakers are invited from India and abroad. The speakers are delivering their talks as per their expertise, field of interest and research and the experience. Every day we are enriching in the knowledge through the speakers talk every day. This series is running from last 5 years, and today's speaker, Alejandra Carranza, she is not new for us. Before few years, she also accepted our invitation and she had delivered the talk. Today again, we invited her, and I welcome you, ma'am, from my organization, from all the participants. Today's speaker, Alejandra Carranza, she is the founder and CEO of ACMG Digital Company from Los Angeles, California, USA. She is founder, entrepreneur, top digital public relation companies, global markets, and she is from a global business media company, ACMG Digital, Austin, Texas metropolitan area. I welcome you, ma'am, from my organization and from all the participants. Her topic is startup and media exposure, building customer trust digitality. As we are knowing that the people from the society trying to do the startup, try to enter in the business industry area. At that time, how media is supportive to them to explain their product, to advertise their product and quality of the product, and to build a relationship with the customers. Because customers are the heart of the any business. If they believe on the dignity digitally, and then they can attract to the business, and that business will be grow up. This topic she will explain through her experience. I welcome you again, ma'am, Alejandra, and you are requested to start your speech now. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Becker, for bringing me again on your show, and I'm excited to share more. Thank you, everybody, for being here. As Dr. Becker said, I am a company that deals with media and public relations. And I can tell you from the beginning of things is startups right now are a little bit lost with the AI space of how they're going to be able to market in a more organic way while using, all these tools that we have. So I guess the first thing I can talk about is who is your customer? I think once a company knows if they're selling a product or a service, who are they connecting to and who do they want to grab attention from? So that's where we come in. So we can either do a lot of publicity for you, press, we can get you on Forbes, on big credible media outlets that will go with your company so you can be more credible in the public eye. A lot of founders are very shy doing this because they're not used to being in the public eye. They just want to have a company and they want to make lots of money, but people still want to know who's behind the company, who's the founder of the company, why are they selling us this product or service? Even if it's with AI tools or maybe AI marketing, people want to see the founder and the CEO of the company get on, social media and talk about the product that they're selling. Another thing also that I want to talk about is who are you really targeting? Because a lot of people say, I have an audience of maybe males from the age of 35 to 65, but your audience might be millennials and you don't even know it because you don't know how to target to millennials. So it's important to use media relations and social media relations to speak to customers every day. Get on maybe like on live or maybe just post a video or two saying, hey guys, this is what we're doing today with the company. This is how much we've sold. Or, do you guys have any sort of, background of our services and products? I think that right now, a lot of people get really, really itchy with social media because they don't want to seem like an influencer. So let's say I'm a founder. I don't want to be seen on social media and people Google my company and they say, oh, I see her on TikTok. I see her on Instagram. But it's important that we still get on, I think, as founders and as we're running our companies, so people can get to know us and then they buy from us. They say people buy from people they trust. And I think that's something that we should focus on with this AI move, that a lot of people are, getting confused. How do we keep it real for the customers? Something too that I like to point out on my notes here, I think it's just every day be authentic. A lot of people want to sell to millions of people, whether it's a product or a service, but at the end of the day, they're playing a role that isn't real. They just want to sell the product and they want to put it out there as much as possible. But customers more than ever want that authenticity behind the brand. I think I've bought brands too that I was so in love with. And then eventually they start changing their, foundation and what they were about. And then they sell off to a PepsiCo or a big company. And now I'm like, what happened to that company? It's like it got lost in the ocean of, selling to other companies. So I think media relations and showing your audience that you're there to be every day, as a founder, as a startup, and showing up and posting content is super important in today's age. Like, I cannot tell you how many startups I talk to and they say, well, why should I post? They're not going to buy from me. And I tell them marketing is important. It's not just today that they're buying from you. They might buy from you in a month. They might buy from you in 6 months. You don't know unless people know who you are. So public relations is what we do. We focus on positioning your brand with either Yahoo Finance, if it's something in the business field, if it's something within another industry, we try to find a media outlet that can actually do press about your company so you can have something on the SEO and add it to your website. There's a lot of startups that I talk to and I look them up. There's nothing that shows that they've been in any type of press. They don't have anything, not a podcast, not a video. So I always tell them you want to start off with a press release that says about your company, who you are, why you started the company, and where you're located, in case people want to maybe have investors talk to you. But yeah, to every audience, it's important to really highlight public relations and media more than ever. I know that artificial intelligence can probably do all these videos and you can have all these systems, but at the end of the day, the audiences, your customers are going to know if you're a real company or not. And they're going to want to buy more from companies that are actually putting in the work and they're really take care of their clients, because once a company makes money, they forget about why they started. I mean, we have Facebook, at first it started with just connecting with your family, and now it's an ad agency. So they grew from connecting people to now being an ad agency. So I really want people and startups to focus more on just connecting with the customers, understanding that every day having like a piece of content or maybe having a press release every other month of how your company's doing, people are going to say, okay, they're putting the time, they're putting money into their company, and I could actually become an investor in that company. I spoke to someone that had I think there was a device, a breathing device, and they were like, how can I get my product, out there? And I told them right away, start getting press releases, start having something when people Google your company or your product, they're going to see all these interviews that you've already done explaining the product, and then mass distribute it on social media. So you don't really have to go viral, but I think it's just using ads and using the right marketing for people can see who you are and they click and eventually buy from you. But I think we need to focus more on that. I mean, I've seen a lot of people who just want to become millionaires. They just want to say, I have a startup and in a year I want to make 10 million. And I tell them that's not really how it works. Things take time still. Things, even if we're in the AI space, things are going to take time. They're going to take years to build a brand. A brand takes time to build. A lot of people want it to kind of, be in a month and be all over social media. But I tell them you have to put money in your brand and you have to show up. Founders and CEOs need to show up every day and take videos of the company, of employees. How are they doing? How do they like handling their customers? Because now we don't see that. I remember, I think it was like back about 10 years ago, I used to see more of the organic, what goes behind the scenes from a company. And now you don't know who owns the company. It's owned by some private sector, private equity, and you lose your customers. I know that people want profits, but I believe that in the long run, the companies that are going to be more successful are the ones that are online, that have a really strong social media presence and that have, maybe like a TikTok shop. I think that's the next thing too. Having a live session or a show for your company is going to make you not only have a public relation with your potential clients or customers, but you're also going to be seen in a different light. If they see you that you have like a channel on Roku TV, or not just YouTube, but like an actual TV show, and you go live on TikTok, that's going to be really big in the next 10 years. So public relations is very important when you're running a business, when you have a startup, especially when you have a startup, and understand your customer. Listen to your customer. If they say, hey, I like the product or I like the service, but I think it's overpriced, or maybe, hey, you need to really work more on your marketing. All that stuff is going to make you better as a company. I think that a lot of founders that create their babies, which is their startups, they don't like hearing feedback. They don't like hearing the product is not good, it's not selling, or, the customers aren't liking it. And they say, well, I've worked on this for 20 years probably, and now it's live, I launched, and it's not selling. Well, maybe you need a good marketing team. Maybe you need a publicist that can get out there and talk to different media outlets and say, hey guys, this is the new launch that we have. This is how much it's selling for. It's a global product. And let people know about it, and let people find out like, what is your product about, by sending them free samples. I think a lot of companies are getting a little bit stingy with that too. Before we used to see like samples, they used to send out like cute emails of like a free product, but now companies are just looking for the next dollar. They're looking for the next profit, but your customer is the one that's going to build your company. You're going to build the brand. Your team is going to help you manage it. But having a positioning in the media and having press releases about your company will let people know that you're actually real, that you're actually putting money in your brand, and that you care about what customers think about your brand. I think that, and just to kind of conclude, like, more about public relations, showing up every day, posting content, knowing the audience. So let's say if you have a post that your team already has, your marketing team, know how to spend your ad money. Because I used to spend a lot of money just running ads, and as much people as can see the product or the service. But it's important to know who's looking at that ad, not just spending like $100, $200 and then there goes your ad money. So I think running ads on Facebook, I think on Facebook and Google ads work really well with startups. And just like I said, going live every now and then and just talking to strangers and emailing people. If you have an email list, start kind of forming the email list too, inviting people on podcasts. Podcast is also another way that I've been connecting with a lot of startups. Getting interviews on podcasts, jumping on podcasts is really going to help you explain what you're selling out there. It's still going to be a grind. And that's what I tell a lot of startups. They say, well, if I'm on Forbes, people are going to buy from me. Yes, they're more likely to buy from you if you're on Forbes. Maybe the nearest startup in India, or the top 20 startups in China. But that gives you a better leverage. You might get better clients. You will get a better pool of people that can maybe invest in your company. But at the end of the day, it's understanding that public relations is a relationship business. You want people to trust you. People buy from people they like, and then they'll come back knowing that you're still putting yourself out there. They're seeing you on social media. They see you on ads. They'll know your company or your brand. But it's still very important that we still have to put in the work. AI is a great tool. I always tell people you can run so many things through AI, but don't do the AI slop. The content that looks kind of, it just looks too fake. Still, you want to have, natural content, real content out there. You want to be real. I think that's the one message that I can tell people. Be authentic about what you're selling, and not just the money. The money's going to come. In a couple of years, you'll probably hit a lot of revenue. But if you only focus on the money, you're going to get tired. This is a long road for startups right now. I see many coming in from AI companies to product-based companies, and they put a lot of money in marketing and public, relations, but they don't understand that the founder still has to be kind of doing interviews and putting themselves out there. They just want to pay somebody, whether it's in India, the Philippines, wherever they choose. And they're like, oh, they'll do the marketing for me. And I tell them, that's not all the time how it works. You still have to show up for your people. You still have to talk to the audience and let them know who you are. Let them know what you're selling and let them know why you're selling it. I think that's a big thing of why you're selling the product that you're putting yourself out there. I think that's a lot of, I guess that's a question that a lot of startups, they still kind of like get lost in. They're like, well, I want to sell this product. And I tell them, why? Why do you want to sell it? Do you want to solve a problem in the environment? Do you want to solve a problem in maybe construction? Like, what is it that you want to solve? And that's how you're going to catch your first clients. You'll know it's a company of whatever industry you're selling. But yes, I think at the end of the day, we're still going to be going through this AI transition. I'm seeing it globally, and people think, well, I'm just going to put money through the AI system and it's going to generate leads for me. And that's not how it works still. We're still not there yet. We have a long way to go. But meanwhile, these AI systems are evolving. We have to still focus as a founder, the CEOs of companies, we still have to focus on our customers, on our clients, and how can we make them keep buying from us, and how can they come back to us if it's a service kind of like company. But yes, to kind of conclude a little bit of everything that I've spoken, I'm a millennial from the 90s, so we're seeing all the shifts coming together from back then to now. It's like everything's changing super fast. A lot of changes, a lot of companies that are coming in through this AI services. And I can tell you that, like I said, I like what I'm seeing, but we still have to communicate with people. Being on media outlets is still important. Having maybe like a spot on a really good magazine that has really good traffic can help your brand too. They can post about what you're doing every month or so. And, having a publicist that can help you with that. So what we do is we focus on that. We cater to every client and we say, okay, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to be more visible? Or is it that you want your brand to be more visible? Like, what is it? And who's your customer? So we understand, like, okay, who are we marketing to when it comes to ads? Because ads are still going to be running. We're still going to need to run ads, but how to run them properly. And you don't spend $30,000 on ads and then you only get like maybe $500 revenue. So it's important to know where you're putting your revenue when it comes to the marketing and the public relations sector of it. But I love what I do. I think ever since I started my podcast, I knew that I wanted to do this in public relations. I think it's exciting. I love getting in front of the camera and talking to people like they were my aunt, my uncle. I really like it because that's what people want. I think people miss that. They miss having that intimate moment with whoever's selling them something online. They want to make sure like they feel like they can relate to them. I think nowadays we see a lot of Instagram models and Instagram people, and they look unreachable. They look like they're unrealistic. Like, I can never be at that level, but that's not true. I think everybody should kind of be more relatable. Even though people tell you don't be relatable, I think we should be more relatable. And we should understand that customers have all types of budgets, whether it's $20, whether it's $100,000, every customer can probably buy from you at some point. And companies, some of them tell me, well, I don't deal with people that make less than $100,000 a year. And I tell them, I don't do that. I look at McDonald's. McDonald's doesn't say we only cater to luxury people. No, they sell to everybody and they're worth billions of dollars. So I think it's important to understand that it's not just about the money or the budget. It's about offering a service to almost everyone. And some people tell me, no, you can't do that to everyone. But I always do the opposite. I think every company should have a list of menu for all types of budgets or products that they can sell or services. And they'll make a lot of money, even more, offering different types of services. But like I said, at the end of the day, it's all about the public relations, customer relationship, client relationship. And those are the people that build your company. Your customer is your boss. I always tell people your customer is your boss. If you forget that, you won't last because you're going to have a big ego and think everybody owes you money or they owe you that prestige. But no, customers and clients will always be the main bread and butter to your company. But yeah, so if you ever feel like maybe you have a startup, you have an idea of starting a brand, contact us. We can tell you exactly how to do it and where to start. So if you don't have a lot of money, how to begin that process of, hey, I have a brand, what should I do? Should I focus more on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook? Where can my first customer come from? And once you have that, you make a sale or two and start putting money into your brand's press releases, to how to come out on maybe not just Forbes, because Forbes is a little bit more up there, but there's other brands you can come up with, or other magazines or press releases you can get for your company. But that way, when people Google your company, the press release will come out and you'll look more serious, you'll look more credible, and people will probably more buy from you. So I think at the end of the day, like I said, public relations is still going to be needed. It does not matter if AI takes over all these types of industries. We're still going to want humans behind creating the content, and also filming humans, having content that's human based. But I mean, other than that, I think at the end of the day, as time goes on and the next generation comes in, which is the Gen Z, they're learning that really fast too. So I see them coming out with new brands, and they have other ideas, and I could see it changing as well. But at the end of the day, they're always on Instagram, they're always on TikTok, and they're putting themselves out there. So I know that they understand I still have to show up every day. I still have to show up every day. I still have to put my face. LinkedIn, I used to get on LinkedIn way more. My main source is Facebook. So Facebook is where my customers come from, because that's where people from probably the age of 35 to 65 are on. So they're the ones that are retired. They're the ones who have a little bit more budget. And I focus more on Facebook and TikTok now. Instagram, I kind of see more as like a ad kind of like application. You can run ads on Instagram, but it's not really that connecting friendly. Like, it's not really for you to make friends there. It's to run ads. But TikTok is becoming the next kind of Facebook, where people are going to get on more. People talk about different topics now on TikTok, versus Facebook is more of like, like your family's on there, but you can still sell on there as well. But I think like to kind of cover all this is knowing social media as well, knowing which ones work best for you. Not all platforms are going to work good. Some people like YouTube, that might not work. That didn't work for me. What worked was podcast. Starting your own podcast for your company, that's going to be the next thing too. Having episodes where you release every other week, updating people of your brand, your company, what you guys are doing, and then keeping up with what customers are saying. If they're liking the products, I think sending out like newsletters, and reaching out to as many people as as possible, building your email list so you can start updating them on what your company's doing. But podcast is a great tool to start using if you're a startup, and start putting yourself out there. So I think it's exciting what's going to happen in the next few years for all the companies that are coming up. And I think leadership is something that we're going to need more than ever. People are kind of, like I said, it's a different thing happening here in the United States, but leadership and understanding that when you own a company and you're the boss and you're the CEO, you're taking full responsibility for what your team's doing, for what your company looks like. And I mean, at the end of the day, it's staying real, true. That way people can feel it. The customer can feel it. The people you're selling to know when you're trying to like sell them something that's not really real. But yeah, more authenticity and more community, I think, in this space. I'm not sure if that's my time. But yeah, so yeah, at the end of the day, it's it.
Thank you, Alejandra. It was a great topic by you. Startup and media exposure, building customer trust, dignity. You have experienced all these things because you are a CEO and related with the digital media. You have experienced that Facebook is more effective than TikTok. Second is TikTok, and Instagram is third. So digital media is the backbone of every startup. You have also said that startup should plan. If someone asks by them, anyone, why you are doing that product, producing that product or doing this product, then he should confidently say that I want to remove the drawbacks of construction or environment, all these things. So innovation from the Gen Z generation, you also identified here. And also the target customers, those who believe on the digital, which age group they are. And you also said that money is not matters, but dignity and the trust of the customers is important in this field, so that every startup can be successed. So all these
Yeah.
steps with your experience, you have said that your experience in this research said that we can take support of the digital media, but we have to do the quality product and build a best customer relationship. Once the customers are accepted our product, they believe them and they give the more publicity supporting to the digital media, and our business and our innovation reach to the people up to the mark as a branded product. At the same time, the podcast, YouTube, all these medias can be used by you also, and we have to update our customers on the various podcasts and the YouTubes. Thank you for your elaborate speech and joining here. Now I request all the participants, they can discuss with our speaker. They can unmute and they can discuss with our speaker. Next, Dr. Sanand Shukla sir, please.
Good evening, Dr. Betkar sir. Good evening, ma'am. Wonderful presentation you have made.
Thank
And
you.
really, if you want to go for digital marketing, the digital branding is required. And wonderfully, you explained and you believe strongly in Facebook rather than Instagram. Uh, Always, one question comes in my mind that a physical product, by watching some physical product or taking some good service, that feeling is different rather than just having a digital look of the product or the digital look of the service. So I'm at least from my side, I'm not getting confidence when I try to select digitally the products. And when we are saying that we want to create a kind of a image and confidence in the consumer, so that is also very essential. But how it is possible with the digital marketing? That is my first question. Second
Yes.
thing is, if you are really going for digital marketing, yes, definitely it requires funding. It requires, some allotment of the funds, and no doubt you will get return from it also. So that is one thing. But when we are putting money for this, the consumer become more active. He has to search for us.
Yep.
It's the basic problem. But how we can have positive, our advertisement or our product related information can go to them positively, and directly. It should not be someone will make a search and then they will find it out certain companies, and then they will identify their credentials, and then he will compare, and after comparison we will get the information. So, is there any other technique? Directly the person should get that information. Like in the printed media, we get in. If suppose there is a news or there is some advertisement, it is means the observer or the reader goes through it.
Right.
Go through how it is possible, digitally. Suppose I don't know XYZ company only, how I will make a search for it? That is the second question, very important question. And third question is, what kind of preparation? It is not like I will be telling branding company, I am from the health sector. You
Right.
make services, what kind of services I am providing, how please make it. No, but I think some inputs will require, some prompts will be required. So what are the important elements we should give it to the branding that authority or branding company? That these are my questions. Thank you very much. Otherwise, wonderful presentation, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your. Those are all great questions. So the first one, for all marketing, I really think you're right. You do need a budget. But if you don't have that much of a budget, you're gonna have to push on social media. So depending on the service or the product, you'll know which one to pick, because all social media is not for everyone. TikTok is really great for TikTok Live, and you can start getting traction there. Facebook is more for retired people, older people, but they have money. Instagram is more for running ads for, Gen Z and millennials and the next generation. They're always on, Instagram. But having a good budget, but also starting as soon as possible, getting verified accounts and start posting, that's going to be the first marketing tool you can use without having thousands and thousands of budget. The second one of how to find your company besides Googling it, the best way to do it now is having a link on all your social medias, whichever one you're using the most. When you go live or when you're posting something, add the product link. I think Facebook has it now. You can add all these product links so people can directly click on it if they like what they see. Let's say it's a podcast that you're in and you're advertising with the podcast. I always put the link of my guest and they'll click on it right away. People, they still Google you. Investors will Google you. Potential partners will Google you. So that's where you have to have a press release from your company, because they're going to see, doctor, you're a doctor, you have healthcare. I'm going to Google him. I'm an investor. Oh, he came out on Forbes. He came out on Yahoo Finance. He's a real business versus you don't have much. So investors like to see that you're on press releases, that you have a brand that's already been built. So that's the second one. I think the third one is just, it all comes down to advertising and marketing. If you're good at sales and you're good at every day putting a video, posting a video every day, someone's going to click on your website from the link. No matter what, if you know how to sell in front of a camera, eventually you're going to make a sale. But you do need to run ads to kind of show other people in other areas of the countries and other places what your product is. But as far as just advertising and marketing, it's good to get on every day and post a video, a content of the product. It could be different. It could be you using it. It could be another video of somebody using it, something, but it has to be like content that's relatable and that people can understand what you're selling. But always put the product link, because that's what helped me. So I interview people, startups, I put them on my socials and I say, hey guys, this is the link to their website. So people can directly get to the product and hopefully buy. But it is true with marketing, sometimes people don't buy. No matter how much marketing you have, people are not going to buy. So it's important to know your customer. I hope I answered your question.
Thank you very much. Definitely, that physical touch to the product is always very important.
Yes.
Once you utilize some service, then I will realize, I have tested that a particular service or product, and that is how, I can go back and again work out with those things. But when it is a new thing, we are always in a puzzle that whether it is or wrong. So these are the very important thing. Yes, definitely. But nowadays, the startups, there should be a digital branding. And I think that is the biggest way to get, globally recognized rather than just working locally. So that I think we are connected with each other, because of our internet, and so many facilities are there. So I think we should utilize this, and every corner of the world should get information about your product and service.
Yeah.
Whether they will use it or not, that is a different story. But at
Exactly.
least creating that image of that your product is very, very essential. So whenever people will require it, yes, definitely they are going to use it. And hammering, that continuous hammering of your advertisement is also very, very essential. So, people will not forget, the name of that product. So in India, at least, the Colgate toothpaste, it's so widely used. It's so widely used. Even they want to purchase another toothpaste, they are not asking for the toothpaste. They are saying, give us Pepsodent, Colgate, or something
Yeah.
like. So it has been hammered so much, right? So we have accepted it. It is the only toothpaste available in the market. So I think this is how we should go for a very positive and promotion. What we can say, active promotion of our products. So thank you very much for discussing such a wonderful thing. And definitely the branding industry is a huge one, and
Yes.
it has a great scope as well. I remember in healthcare system, they are developing certain apps for us. and we can get a call them as a consultant from the app only. They can register themselves. So a lot many things are going on. So digitalization is the key for branding, at least for the startup as well as the well-known. Everyone is doing branding. No one is. Yeah, everyone is participating in the branding. So branding is a big business. So I what I do say that business is not important. The customer satisfaction is more important. So once the customer is satisfied, the business comes automatically, indirectly from it. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Sir. If you started some business or any service in the health sector, kindly inform me, because we have 200 speakers with us. We will reach them, and our service or product will be reached to them. Thank you for your conclusive and suggestions, and asking few questions to our today's speaker, who is expert in the digital media and CEO of brand. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now I request other participants, if they want to discuss, they can discuss with our speaker.
Thank you, everyone, for attending.
Thank you for sparing your precious time of the morning here. And from last 2-3 months, you have accepted this, and we have also wait for your speech today. And I just was remembering within 1 hour, 1 week, 2 weeks after that. And you were so confident that I will join there. I'm very happy with your presentation and joining here. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Becker. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you to all participants. Participants are requested to fill the feedback link so that they can receive their certificate. Thank you. You can leave now, no problem.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. With next invitation in future to you. Thank you.